Well, hello hyperspace, my name is Davontos and it's time to get hyped because this is some epic Overwatch gameplay and there's a lot of changes that hit the Overwatch PTR that hasn't quite hit the public servers yet, but we can be expecting all of these big changes to arrive in just a couple of weeks, including one brand new level. So let's get right into this. So right off the bat, let's talk about the new level, this lunar moon map. Yes, it's taking place on the moon, or basically Winston's home. If you don't know, Winston's a space monkey who's from the moon, and he was raised by scientists, and that's why he's very smart, because they did a lot of testing on him, so on and so forth. Winston lore! So, with this moon level, it's going to be a capture point map played out exactly like Hanamura and Volskaya Industries, you know, those kind of capture points where you gotta defend and you have to stop the attackers from going in, and they capture point A and move on to point B and defend that, and so on. That's how the moon map is going to play out. But the moon map is huge. It is, I mean, this thing is gigantic. And also it has a lot of flank routes. Now you guys, let's use Hanamura for example. You guys know in Hanamura, you know, capture point A, you just got to fight through that big gate, and then they try to capture point A. And then when you're moving on to capture point B, they just got to go through the big front entrance and maybe like one side route on the one flank route to the left and one flank route to the right, and that's all you got to worry about. Well, in this lunar map, there are flank routes all over the place on both points A and B. You can have people coming from under you, you can have people coming from above you, from in front of you, from left, from right, from all angles. So it's going to be very, very difficult to defend these points, and you're going to see people flying all over the place. And speaking of flying, because it's in the moon, there are some parts on the map where there is zero gravity, which means you can fly or float for a very, very long time. But don't worry, it's not overpowered because it's just in set areas in the map. You're not going to have, like, you know, floating bastion turrets, you know, hovering all over the place taking people out. It's just in set points on the map, and as far as I've seen, these set points are not on the capture points. It's within the flank routes. So I would kind of be careful on these flank routes because you're never going to know if you're going to run into a floating bastion turret, and nobody wants to run into that. And with this new moon map, the way it seems to be designed, it seems to favor very fast-moving characters. They got Tracer, Genji, Soldier 76, Pharah, Diva, Winston. Well, obviously Winston is his level. But, because there are a lot of flank routes and you can jump around the place and, you know, ambush the enemies from all angles, fast-moving characters are going to be very, very powerful here. Which also means that stationary characters like Torbjorn, Symmetra, and so on, I'm not sure if the level is going to be in their favor. I'm not too sure. But what I can say is there are 3 heroes who is going to have major changes, both buffs and nerfs. Let's start off with McCree. Now, we're going to talk about McCree's Deadeye here. McCree's High Noon is probably one of the most feared ultimates in the entire game. You know, you just mind your own business and all of a sudden you hear, it's High Noon, and everybody just panics and runs for cover. And McCree locks onto every hero at a set time. The weaker the hero, the faster he locks onto them. Like, you know, he'll lock onto Tracer faster than he would a Roadhog. Well, it's gotten even scarier for the squishier heroes. Originally, it takes McCree 0.8 seconds to lock onto Tracer, so about like 1 second. Well, they buffed that. So now if your health is within the 200 range, basically everybody, if you're not Mei or stronger, McCree's gonna lock onto you in 0.1 seconds, so it's going to be instant. So that means, you guys know when you're playing and you hear a Soldier 76 say, "I've got you on my sights," you literally got like a split second to get to cover before he starts nailing damage on you. That's the same way High Noon is going to play out, if not even worse. So basically, if you're Tracer, you want to keep away from a McCree because he can one-shot you in the blink of an eye. At 0.1 seconds, he will one-shot Tracer faster than you can blink, which makes McCree very, very dangerous. And speaking of very dangerous, we're going to talk about Roadhog, which is something that he's not anymore. Now, everybody knows Roadhog is the big, beefy dude who sponges a lot of damage, and he has this huge hitbox on his head, at least. Well, on his body, too. But anyway, everybody wants to aim for Roadhog's head, down him faster, and when he self-heals, it doesn't really heal that much. But whatever. Roadhog is the giant sponge that one-shots everybody. Well, they changed it on the PTR. His headbox hit size has been decreased by 20%, making it very difficult to pull off the headshots on Roadhog. He's still a big target for his bodies. You can always land those body shots. However, his scrap gun has gotten a huge nerf, and I don't really see like this as a very effective nerf, not a very good nerf for Roadhog in general. Now, Roadhog's scrap gun is a one-shot kill, and he can one-shot almost everybody if your name isn't Reinhardt, Diva, or Roadhog. He can even one-shot Zarya's if you get a headshot. Well, with the new Roadhog, he can't even one-shot McCree's anymore. And the reason for this, I'm guessing the developers are saying the one-shot hook thing is kind of annoying, but I feel like the one-shot hook Roadhog is more like a punishment to, you're out of position, Roadhog hooks you and shoots you, but with this new Roadhog, his scrap gun has a faster fire rate. It basically shoots twice as fast as the current Roadhog. He has 5 bullets per magazine instead of 4, so he's kind of wielding a full auto shotgun, but it still functions, the scattering of the pellets and everything else, it still functions just like the current Roadhog. It just shoots faster and is 33% weaker, so you can still land those one-shot kills on squishy targets like Zen and Tracer, and you can probably land them on kind of strong targets like Pharah's, Soldiers, and McCree's, but you can no longer one-shot Maze, you can no longer one-shot Bastion and Reapers, which puts Roadhog in a very bizarre place. I mean, that means Roadhog has to stick with the team. A lot of times Roadhog would just be lurking around in the shadows or the side alleys and then hook people, drag them in and one-shot them. He can't do that anymore because his scrap gun is weaker. Yeah, his scrap gun shoots faster, but in fast-moving, when he hooks a fast-moving target like a Genji, you can't really You can't really one-shot that Genji anymore because, well, his scrap gun is weaker. And I'm not sure if that was a good move. We're going to have to see how it plays up in the public servers, because on the PTR, there's only so many people on the PTR, and there's no team composition or nothing. It's just players, testing out the changes. But with this Roadhog change, I'm not feeling it, but we still got to see how it plays out in the public servers, especially in the competitive region. And finally, the last change is going to be Reaper. Reaper got a huge buff. Now, with Reaper, he's going to have the same mobility, even in Wraith mode, he's going to have the same mobility. However, Reaper can regenerate health every time he does damage, and basically, he gets 20% health back depending on how much damage he gives to the enemies per shot. And Reaper shotguns are insanely powerful, so Reaper, let's say, shoots one shot at a Roadhog and it gives that Roadhog 100 damage. Reaper's getting 20 health back, which it doesn't seem like a lot, but if you come in to think about all the pellets that's being scattered and how many targets you're going to hit and how fast Reaper shoots his shotguns, Reaper can stay in the battlefield for a very long time. On top of that, let's combine the health he's getting back from his DPS alongside, I don't know, maybe there's a teammate Lucio right next to him. You're not going to kill Reaper that easily. On top of that, Reaper can no longer be one-shotted by this weak Roadhog, which makes Reaper a force to be reckoned with. But however, they did remove Reaper's spirit orbs that he can collect from the dead bodies. And when you kill a body and there's like that red orb that you walk up to and get some 50 health back, they completely remove that. And they replace it with the, getting health back from your DPS per damage on the enemies. It's always 20%. So if Reaper, shoots a Mei and he does, let's say, 100 damage, he's going to get 20% back, which is 20 health, and so on. I'm not really too sure on the numbers. I always sucked at math, but let's say he shoots somebody and he gets 200 damage down, then that means he gets 40 health back, I think? I'm not sure. I always sucked at math. But Reaper is going to be a dangerous hero if he's constantly regenerating health, on top of the possibilities of him having a healer healing him as well. And these are the changes on the PTR. I'm not too sure if they're going to hit public server, because this is the PTR. I know they can always change it. They can always, keep Roadhog as he is, and maybe this weak Roadhog will never hit the public servers. We never know. And there's also rumor going about a new hero. Now this new hero, his name is, Hamad? Something like that. And rumors going about that he's going to be a chimpanzee with cybernetic enhancements. And this chimpanzee guy, rumors going around that his ability is to create walls to block off the enemies and, basically form the map to work towards your team's advantage. And I feel like it can work. I don't think another monkey is really needed in Overwatch. We got Winston, but I mean, if it's a chimpanzee, technically it's a different breed of monkey, because you got gorillas and you got chimps. So I feel like maybe this chimpanzee idea might work, but his ability, putting walls to block off enemies and, allow your teammates to have access to multiple areas, I mean, stopping the enemies from having access to multiple areas on the map, I feel like this can either be a huge trolling character, if his walls work like Mei and they just block everything off, or maybe his wall's like a hologram and your teammates can walk through it but the enemies can't. If that's the case, he can be very effective. but if it's like a wall like May that nothing can go through, then he's going to be a pure trolling character. So, if the rumors are true, I'm really hoping it's a hologramic wall that can, only harm the enemies. He can be very effective in capture point maps like Hanamura or maybe like this one here. But, again, these are just rumors, there's no confirmation, nothing has been confirmed by Blizzard. And that's basically about it. So if you like this video, punch that like button with a mighty force. You can follow me up on Twitter at DavontosMan. And as always, I'll see all of you in the next video. Have a nice day.